Hey everyone, and welcome to the show. Seth will be with me momentarily. This is Horror Movie Massacre, and we are going to tackle 1982 as far as our top 10 lists go. We have done 1980, 81, and 85, which was the first one. We kind of just threw that together on short notice, so we just decided to do the rest of the 80s. This will probably not be a very long show as I have a fever right now, and I am sick, and I don't want to be on here almost at all. So I'll probably let Seth, if he wants to rap a little bit after I leave. I'm just not going to be here very long. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on with me. I had to leave work early today. 1982, The Thing, Carpenter's best movie. Sorry, Halloween fanboys. Easily one of the best movies ever made. Halloween 3, I'm not as high on this as most, but I enjoy Friday the 13th Part 3. Not a fan. Um, and Cat People, I do own, never watched it. And Poltergeist. Poltergeist is great. Um, how's it going, Scott? Uh, I'm your friend today, huh? Or how am I today? I'm sick, not doing too well. Yeah, Cat People's a great movie. I really like Cat People quite a bit, and that may or may not be on our countdown. But I do have a recap, little like 30-second recap for each one we've done. So I'll throw those up real fast, and I can talk over them a little bit until Seth gets here. Um, it's funny. On Sunday, we talked about a couple movies and had one of the horror gang or two of the horror gang guys on, and we talked about his favorite band, and it's Megadeth. So if he sees the shirt, this is one of the shirts I was going to wear on Sunday. Uh, do you think the remake of Cat People will be a very good idea today? Maybe. I don't know. I have no idea. Tired of remakes, so that's where I stand. Um, I will say there are some good ones here in 1982 for sure. But before that, let's do a recap of 19. Let's do 1980 first. So here's our top 10 horror films from 1980, which you could find in our reels or our whatever it's called shorts on YouTube. And then we have posting reels and shorts for each one of these. I probably should do that on what is it, Instagram as well, but I haven't. And yes, our number one. Does anybody remember what our number one? That's my favorite John Carpenter movie, I think. The Shining, yay, and the Horror Syndicate logo, one of them. And here's 1982 or 81. I'm sorry, we're doing 82 today. We did this last week, and if you missed that show, fun episode with me and Seth talking about horror films from 1981. Seth and I have to play a little catch up for 1983. I've seen 11, but there's a couple that our friend Nathan Thomas Milner has told us to check out. So I will do that. Uh, well, I already forgot what they're called because my brain's not working right. So sorry about that. And of course, I do have today's, but I'm not going to show that till later. Here's 1985. The first one we did this episode a couple weeks ago. It's our first episode back in quite some time, and it was fun. I was glad were able to do this, and we'll just keep motoring through the 80s with 1983 next week. We've got 1980, 2 weeks from now, or 84 2 weeks from now, then 86, 87, 88, 89. And yeah, that'll be it for the 80s. We may do a whole 1980s top 50 or something like that. That'd be fun, I think. So Seth is here, and we can get moving. Hey, Seth. I'm gonna keep this episode short because I have a fever.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
yeah, I left work early today and basically took a nap until about 7. I feel terrible. Uh, so yeah, Reynolds and I both. Helena has isolated herself upstairs so she doesn't get the ick. Um,
I hope you
so
feel better, man.
thanks. I hope so too because I also have some stomach bubbles going, if you know what I mean, and I think you do. Uh, so welcome everybody. Their favorite YouTubers back, or second favorite, or whatever he is.
Second favorite.
Second favorite. He asked already if there should be a remake to Cat People. Have you not seen Cat People?
No, I own it though. I got the Blu-ray of it, and I just have not watched it. I pulled it down last night, and I was gonna I watched I started watching Tenebrae last night, and then I was gonna watch Cat People after, but like probably like halfway through Tenebrae, it I got like hit with a massive headache, so I just stopped.
Did you finish it?
No,
Hmm.
didn't get a chance to finish that yet.
That's good. Cat People, I think you'll like Cat People a lot. Cat People is really good. I was disappointed where it's ranked on our list. I think it will not hit the top four or top three probably or top four because one, two, and three were all unanimous. One, two, and three. We all had me, you, Nate, Jared all had the same one, two, and three, like exactly the same. Which I don't know that that's ever happened and probably never will again.
Well,
Um,
yeah, I mean, one of them, I put one above. There's one that watch a lot, and then there's one that I don't watch a lot. With the one I don't watch a lot, I have to admit is a better movie. So
yes, and I know what you're talking about.
yeah,
So anyway, yeah. So me and Reynolds have been watching Justice League cartoons for the last hour and a half or so. Which I absolutely suggest you do the same.
yeah, I got a lot to watch, a lot to catch up on.
I've never heard of Grey Steak, The Legend of Tarzan, Lord of the Apes. It's talking about black leopards because a cat people has black leopards in it. So anyway, how you been, man? How you feeling?
I have been all right. Uh, you know, Sunday wasn't great, but
Nothing's good anymore.
yeah,
Everything in this whole country's trash. So
yeah. Well,
anyway,
my team lost. I was
yeah,
upset, so I put it on street floor to cool down.
yeah,
And
I
I
saw that. I was in the middle of like I couldn't even be on the whole show last week because Reynolds was having a problem. I guess that's when he started getting sick, and so I had to step away for a little bit to help him.
mhm.
And yeah, me and Reynolds were both disappointed.
Yeah,
Howdy. So let's get this list on if you don't mind. If you want to hang out and talk to these people for a while after I go, you're more than welcome to. Of course, I just man, I have no strength and I have achy bodies.
did it just hit you today, or have you been like that for a couple
So
days?
I woke up and my stomach was just man like hurting. Like I couldn't tell if it was going to come up or go down. You know what I mean? Like you know how that is.
Hmm.
And I thought, oh maybe I ate something bad. Maybe I need to shit it out. And I had there's something at work I couldn't miss today no matter what. So I was like, I'm gonna try to at least get through this, and I did. And then right after it was done, I was freezing cold in a warm building, and I'm like, I'm out. I can't do this. I feel terrible. And then I had to drive a half an hour to get home, which sucked.
Yeah,
So and get gas. That was fun too.
yeah.
Um,
It's funny because like what you're kind of talking about. I think that's what I had around like Christmas time.
hmm.
I got I got sick really bad like the day after Christmas, and then it lasted for like a week.
Hopefully it doesn't last that long. I don't like Reynolds fever will not like go down.
Well,
It keeps getting worse.
the for me it
Is it
was
bird
like
flu?
the cold chills, and then like the sweating, like the off and on of that. Like I had that for
Thanks.
like 2 days, I think.
Hmm.
But
No, hopefully this doesn't last too long. Anyway, let's get into it before I have to leave to poop again. Hey, tell Ray about the fan made American Werewolf from London. He already told me about it. Yeah, we talk. We don't. This is not the only time we talk. So anyway, we're doing the top 10 of 1982. Some great movies, obviously based on the image here, and some that you probably haven't heard of. There are a lot of movies like Swamp Thing. You and Nate both put on your list. I didn't know it was considered a horror movie. It's
I
not even.
I initially I didn't write it down on my list, but then I saw that Nate included it. I'm like, fuck it, I'll include it.
It's not even in my list of horror movies that I've seen. And of course, you know me. If it doesn't say horror, it's not going to go in the horror. I'm going to look on online real fast.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
I
comic book movie, really.
right, but Blade is also a comic book movie.
Yeah.
I like the Swamp Thing movie from back in the day. I loved watching that. Oh, it's just horror. How about that?
I keep that in my Wes Craven collection, so I don't have it with my normal DC stuff.
No, looks like a missed opportunity for me. I like that. Although I do think I like the movies I picked over it. There's a bunch that didn't make it. Basket Case didn't make it on the list. I can't even think of all the ones because I have them written down and I my brain isn't working right. So, um, yeah, I'm gonna probably go call on tomorrow. I already know it. Probably take Reynolds to urgent care or something like that. But anyway, coming in at number 10 is a movie you haven't seen yet, right? You haven't seen Pieces.
I have not seen Pieces.
Well, as the tagline says, you don't have to go all the way to Texas for a chainsaw massacre. Um, I don't want to give much away about this movie, but it is a Spanish horror movie by Juan Piquer Simon. He is the director. There's a some of the music's a little annoying, but overall, like this is a waterbed kill or something like that. It's a really fun little giallo slash slasher. You know, I like it quite a bit actually. When I saw it, I think Joe Bob showed it in 2018, 2017, somewhere around there, and I was like, gotta own that one. And Grindhouse put out a great Blu-ray for it, so definitely worth watching, Seth. I think you might have fun with it.
That's an Italian film.
It's Spanish, but it's like an Italian film. It may as well be Italian.
So it's not like officially a giallo, but
No, it's just a slasher, just a slasher. Say
slasher and
that, but you
giallo,
know,
they're like cousins.
yeah. I mean, they pretty much go hand in hand. I mean,
Yeah.
the unseen killer, you know, giallos are more of a mystery, but yeah, I would pretty much say Pieces is a straight up slasher more than anything with like some giallo flavor in there. Fun side note. It had an alternate title in Spain called "The Night Has a Thousand Screams." Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Christopher George, he was in City of the Living Dead. He was the main character in that
Mm-hmm.
one. He is in Pieces.
He was the psychologist guy or the reporter.
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 Yeah, yeah. He is in Pieces. Not in Pieces like he's in pieces all over the place, but he's in the movie.
Gotcha.
It's in Pieces. I don't care for it. I got it from Greece on Amazon. Of all, that's odd. Pieces is awesome. There you go. Coming in number 9 is Friday the 13th 3D. You had it highest on the list of all of us. Um, I think I had it at number 9. I can't remember, but yeah, I mean it's Friday the 13th 3. Jason gets his mask. He kills Shelly and a bunch of other campers. Chris Higgins is the worst. I don't really have much to say about it. We've talked about this movie 1,000 times. What about you?
I mean, yeah, we have talked about it a bunch. I I really enjoy it. Um, I especially dig Harry Manfredi's score, and I'm not talking about like the disco score. I'm talking about like the actual score. I love
I
that.
love the disco score.
No, I mean that's fun too, but I mean I love that moment where Chris Higgins is standing on the porch and she's calling out to
Rick.
Rick, and just the music that plays in that moment is great.
Mm.
Um, this isn't. I mean, this isn't even in my top 5 of Friday 13th movies, but I still enjoy it. I have fun with it. This is the very first Friday 13th I've seen technically, even though like at the time I only saw like the second half of it.
Hmm.
Um, it's not the first one I saw in full, but it's I saw the majority of it. So
Yeah.
I I enjoy it. I mean, there's something about the Paramount era Friday 13th films, man. They're just a lot of fun.
Yeah, there's just some things about this one I don't like. Slumber Party Massacre did not make our list, unfortunately. It made Seth's list, but he was the only one put on his list, so it didn't get enough votes.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't like the beginning either with Harold and all that shit.
yeah.
Uh, what does he
He
not
doesn't.
wipe his ass?
He does not wipe in that. Just
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Nor there's like two characters in this movie that one they don't wipe and they don't wash their hands. And Harold not only doesn't wipe, but then he eats right after. I
Yeah,
think
he grazes on his own product.
that
He's
motherfucker.
a, he's a crook. And then coming at number 8 is a movie called Cat People. I had to raise the name of it up so we could see Natasha Kinski's face. Really cool movie. I don't want to say too much. I definitely think you'll like this movie, Seth. It almost falls in the realm of werewolves. Um, Cat People has a lot of people that you'll recognize in it. It's got this weird mystical feeling to it. I just saw it for the first time last year, and I was like, damn, that was actually pretty cool. Pretty good movie. Annette O'Toole's in it and topless, just saying. And so is
Martha
Natasha Kinski. Huh?
said Martha.
Martha. Martha. And so is Natasha Kinski, but that's not her first time being nude, as she was in a Hammer movie in 1976 called To the Devil a Daughter, where she is nude in that as well, and she is only 15. Imagine my surprise when I watched that movie for the first time I saw her. I'm like, she doesn't look old enough to be naked on screen, but
Yeah, that's a little gross.
it is a movie made in the UK. So, Sean, am I wrong? Is there no rule against that in the UK? Let me know. I think you're in the UK. Is he in the UK or Irish? I don't know where.
He's Irish. He's from
Irish.
Ireland.
Okay, yeah. Well, maybe they have the same rules. Can be naked at any time, but here it's gross. So, especially when you have daughters. But yeah, Cat People overall is pretty good, man. I like it a lot. I definitely check it out. I think you will like it for sure.
Yeah,
It would
well,
probably
like
rank
like I said,
higher.
I own that. I've had that for a while. I got the I think the collector's edition Scream Factory
Mm,
Blu-ray that they put out.
yeah, I got that too.
Yeah, I've been meaning to watch it, and it's been kind of like stashed in my collection.
Unstash it. It's good.
Stash it. Yep.
Yeah. And coming in number 7 is another one you haven't seen. It's called The Entity with Barbara Hershey. And this one, I saw this one in 2022. And again, I don't want to give much away because this is a really good one. I know you're not big into ghost type movies, but this one's really good. Great performances all around. Um, Basically, this ghost is harassing her no matter where she goes. From her house to in the car, because there's a great car scene with this one where the ghost kind of takes control of the car. She gets sexually molested by the ghost at one point, and the effects are really good. I really like this movie. It's not for the sexual molestation of a ghost, but it's actually a pretty good movie.
Yep.
Um, I was surprised. This is a Stream Factory I bought in 2022. I was just surprised. I was like, man, you know, actually I bought this in Cat People at the same time. Now I think about it, and Deadly Friend, of course, you know that one, Deadly Friend, the basketball kill.
Yes.
Um, I would like more Friday the 13th movies canon with the OG franchise. Yeah, I don't want to see them remake anything anymore. I'd love it if they was like, oh, just make more of them without having to, oh, this is a brand new thing. Because I still think the remake could have fit in anywhere in the timeline
I,
in the first 3 or 4.
I don't know if maybe it's just nostalgia speaking, but I wish they would do one like sort of like similar in style to the Paramount films and somehow manage to kind of like fit it in between something.
Mm.
You know,
It'd be hard pressed to fit it in between 2, 3, and 4 because they all take place within a day of each other, and there's a year between 1 and 2. Jason's supposedly dead. There's a whole timeline that I did on the horrorsyndicate.com if you want to check it out. Anybody, not you, Seth, just anybody. You can if you want. All right, coming in at number 6 on our list and our breakneck course. Did you see this scene by chance?
Yes, I saw this scene. Yes.
Okay, so you got pretty far then.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on this one overall? This is a wild. I know the ending, of course, and you don't. But like, is this the John Saxon's in this, isn't he?
Yep.
So this is also the movie that, and I don't know if this is true or not, but Argento decided to make rather than making a follow up to Inferno. Uh, what did you think of what you saw?
Thought it was pretty good. I don't think it was. It didn't really kind of grab me like some of other Argento films. But maybe it's just because I had the build up to the massive headache and then that massive headache. So I think I'm gonna
Right.
probably just restart it from the beginning. But I mean, I liked what I saw. It just
Hmm.
didn't. It wasn't. Yeah, I mean, especially in comparison to like Inferno or Profondo Rosso or Suspiria, it didn't grab me like those. You know what I mean?
A couple of things I like about this one though are there's some really cool shots in that whole scene with the two women. I don't remember if they're sisters or lesbians or what, but that whole lead up, they like filmed the whole outside of the building going. It's interesting.
Yeah.
I basically this one's about a an author who I believe the events of what's happening in his book are coming true.
Yep.
So pretty interesting movie overall. I think it's probably streaming somewhere because most of Italian horror is streaming somewhere, probably Tubi. But definitely worth watching. Some great moments for sure. I like it a lot.
Hmm.
By the way, there are two spellings of this. This is one, and there's a one where there's an A on the end or something like that, or AE or something like that. But it looked like
Yeah.
Bria, so I was like, I'll just leave it with the just E. So that's why I did it. My
I
Blu-ray actually.
I noticed that when I watched the movie because the title card when it popped up was the way that you have it right there, but then like when they showed the novel in the movie, it had the
Yeah.
A.
See.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I feel like I'm gonna fucking shit my pants. Have you tried watching it, Sean? It's basically there's an author. I think he's on a book tour, signing books or something like that, and the events of his book are coming to fruition. It's a pretty cool movie overall.
Hmm.
All right, number 5. Have you not seen this one, or was this on your list? I don't remember. It wasn't on somebody's list.
It was on my list.
Okay, maybe it was Jared then.
So like for me, and I know this is gonna pain, this is gonna hurt your heart a little bit, but I'm not really a big fan of the first Amityville at all.
I
Um,
already knew that.
yeah, but I haven't seen two in a long time, but I do remember actually really liking this one when I first watched it. So
I mean, this one is slightly better, I think, overall. That's why when I ranked them at first, I was like, "Ooh, I might have to move Amityville too."
yeah,
It's kind of loosely based on what happened to the DeFeo family
yeah,
prior to the events of the Amityville horror. But I mean, this is an uncomfortable watch in many ways because of those two.
yeah, I know, yeah,
But like overall, I like this movie. When I first saw it, I saw it. It was edited for TV. All the good stuff was cut out. Oh, um, yeah, 1 of 40. Try 50. No, and so they kind of skipped over that part where he brings her panties to her. Like you missed that big portion, so you didn't know exactly what was going on. But like later on, when he calls to her, you could tell he's got some kind of mystical force over her, and it still worked fine. It's just the incestual relationship between the brother and sister
yeah,
is very uncomfortable.
yeah,
But other than that, I like it quite a bit. It's not my favorite Amityville. It may be slightly better than the original. I just like the original quite a bit. Grew up with it, nostalgia stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. Was it Jared? Because Nate had it on his list for sure. I can't. I think it was Jared that didn't have it on his list, which is fine. Everybody likes different stuff.
Hmm.
Soon we won't be able to like it. We're going to be told to what we like and what we can do. Coming in number 4 is Creep Show, And Nate didn't have this on his list, but it wouldn't have mattered. This is the best it could have done. Creep Show, great anthology. Romero, King. It's a lot of fun. Do you have a favorite segment?
Trying to remember because I have this problem where I always get like stuff from this mixed up with stuff from the second one. Um,
Okay, Ted Danson
yeah, I
in this
remember that
one.
one.
Yeah, the cockroaches.
Yeah,
Jordy Verrill or whatever. Stephen King is this one, and the wraparound has Tom Atkins in it. No mustache.
yeah.
And then oh, what's the first one?
S-
The Beast monster, Fluffy, with
Oh yeah,
Adrian Barbeau. Yeah,
in the crate, right?
the crate. I think that's what it's called. The crate. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I like that one. I would say the Stephen King one is my least favorite.
yeah. I don't know. The When I was younger, growing up, I did not like the one with the roaches. It just didn't do much for me.
Yeah,
But as I got older, I get it. It's a little bit better. But yeah, this one, my favorite of the first two creep shows is the Raft for some reason.
that
Um,
one is so. That is yeah, that one's so good. And I'm not
yeah,
really big on Creepshow 2, but the Raft was one that like stuck with me. Like, cause I remember seeing that
yeah,
segment like a long time ago, and then when I revisited Creepshow 1 and 2, like when I was in my 20s, I was like, oh shit, I remember this one.
right,
Yeah,
yeah, and that's one like when I say when I was growing up watching horror movies with my friends, they'd always, oh, you got Creep Show. I always had Creep Show on VHS, and they're, oh, can we watch this? I want to see the one with the raft. I'm like, ah, it's two, man. Sorry.
yeah,
Yeah, everybody remembers the raft. It's probably, I don't know. It might be the most popular of the creep show segments because the Ted Danson one, being buried alive and all that stuff, is really good and everything, but it's not that memorable. Also, the birthday cake, the Father's Day one's in this too. I don't know why, but they're
yes,
not that memorable. So
yes.
yeah,
Okay, I forgot about the I forgot about the birthday cake one.
yeah, there's like five of them in this one.
I think if I remember correctly, the birthday cake one was my favorite of the first Creep Show.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know which one. I mean,
The
I like
Hitchhiker too.
the Hitchhiker's in the second one.
Hmm.
But I don't know. Creep show, like I like them all of them. Not all of the creep shows because there's Creep Show 3 that I've never seen.
Yeah,
It's
I
out there
haven't. Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah.
And of course, there's the show on Shutter that has different episodes. So Creep Show is good stuff, man.
Have you watched the show at all?
Yeah, I watched. I think the first season. It is pretty good. They're like 30 or 40 minutes long, but they're pretty good overall.
Hmm.
I definitely suggest watching Creep Show. It's a definite must. Now, moving into our top three, everybody should know that everyone had these in the exact same position. So if I had this next movie at three, everybody else did two, and two and one. So starting with number three for 1982 is Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Notice how I didn't make it say Halloween 2, like I did last week with Halloween 2, making it Halloween 3. Uh, this is a movie we talk about quite a bit. We have been firm supporters of Halloween 3 since the inception of the Horror Syndicate. Great movie. Just because Michael Myers technically isn't in it doesn't mean it's a bad movie. It's a great kind of sci-fi supernatural horror Halloween film.
Yeah, I mean, I've been defending this movie since you know early days of the internet. Back when people really seemed to hate it, and uh, you know, I think it's great that over the years it's been getting a lot of love. This movie is so much fun, and I have a blast rewatching it all the time. So
Yeah,
um,
we decreed it as not no longer underrated because so many people were liking it, but it still may be underrated.
I think it is to a certain extent because you'll still get like you know all these people who say that it sucks. But I mean, I don't know. Like when I was growing up, this was like the because my mom loved the Halloween franchise. She had them all on VHS except for this one, and so I always heard that Halloween 3 sucks. Has nothing to do with Michael. Blah blah blah. and then I
Hmm.
rented it, and I just separated it in my mind from the Michael Myers films.
Here's
And
a hot take for you. He
it,
thinks
it
the
is 100%.
yeah.
I 100% agree with that. The score for Halloween 3 is fucking uncanny. And another thing I will say too is like this is the best John Carpenter feeling film not directed by John
I
Carpenter.
know, right?
This totally feels like a Carpenter film.
It does, totally does. And I think that might be one of the reasons it feels like it's within the same world as any John Carpenter film. I mean, you can, and it's not
Yep.
just Tom Atkins, but you could pair this up with A Night with the Fog or, Prince of Darkness or something like that. You just have yourself a great night,
Hmm.
in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but yeah, and again, sorry we're going so fast, but I for anybody who just joined or comes in late, I have a bit of a fever and not feeling great, so I'm gonna leave probably after we get done with one. Speaking of, here's number two, Poltergeist. Man, I had a tough time honestly because I could have put this at number one. I know you had it between two and three, maybe going back a little bit back and forth, but
Yeah.
I love Poltergeist. It's a well-rounded movie. I don't care who directed it. It's Spielberg versus Toby Hooper. It's credited to Toby Hooper, so I'll call it Hooper. Oh, sorry, I just moved and my bones hurt. Um, yeah, I love this movie. This is one of those movies that I could watch any time of the day. I also believe that Poltergeist is an absolute perfect movie for to get some kids into watching horror, or anybody really. If you want to watch a movie to get somebody into horror, put Poltergeist on because it's got more than just horror elements in it. It's a great movie.
Well, it's a terrific gateway movie, as you're
Yeah.
kind of
Oh, you showed
saying.
up late.
Um, so like Poltergeist is a film that I grew up watching like as a kid, and I love, and I still do. I think it's great. It's just one of those movies like I don't rewatch it now that I'm older as much as like I used to. Like so, I put it at number two on my list because I think it's the better film. But I do watch Halloween 3 more than Poltergeist. But
Mhm.
Poltergeist is awesome, and I remember showing it to my kids like years ago when they were really young. Um, yeah, really good film, good cast. And I gotta tell you, man, like even seeing it like as a kid, like edited for TV, just like that scene with the guy and his face peeling off, that creeped me out when I was a kid.
Yeah, I know that scene. That's got to be one of the more iconic scenes. It was 90. We're doing 83 next week, guys. But this one is just a great image for me for this movie because I was like, what do I want to use for this? I could use Carol Ann. I could use the guy peeling his own face off. What
Yeah,
what what am I gonna do? And when I was looking at images, I saw this. I was yeah, that's a good representation of this movie. Um,
I would have used the TV out in the hallway.
yeah, at the end of the movie. But yeah, one of the other things I would like to, I don't know, have we ever done a Poltergeist show on any of our shows? I don't know that we have.
I don't think we have. I
Yeah,
think
I love
we
these movies.
should cover them all.
Yeah, all four of them, even the remake. But the cast in this movie is so good.
Hmm.
Craig T. Nelson, he's like America's dad in that movie, in my opinion, in many ways. He I like the scene early on when he's high, and he's talking about how he was uh, like a diving champion or something like that.
Yeah,
He's great. And then Joe Beth Williams, Dominique Dunn, who's barely in it, but she's there. Zelda Rubinstein, Heather O'Rourke, of course, is Carol Ann. It's just a great cast, man. And I really like Poltergeist 2 quite a bit. I do think it's underrated. Has one of the best horror villains of the 80s, in my opinion, with Reverend Kane, Julian Beck. So, but yeah, Poltergeist 2, man. Or Poltergeist, not 2, for 1982. Great movie, in my opinion.
yeah.
All right. We've come to that part in the show where I'm going to do it to you, Seth. Are you ready?
Not a bad question, Bert.
So, what is your favorite non horror movie of 1982?
Well, since I forgot all about this, I'm gonna have to look real quick.
That's fair.
I totally forgot. I gotta remember. I don't know. My memory's bad.
No, it's just I kind of spring it on you at the and anybody out watching, please answer your favorite non-horror film of 1982. Um, it was a pretty good year in film overall, and the biggest movies came out. It seemed like in 80, 81, 83, with Star Wars and Indiana Jones, and a few other things like that. But I don't know. Are you finding anything? Because I know one that came out in 1982 that you definitely love. Do you just want to say it? Because I know you love it. So mine's First Blood, more than likely.
First Blood, yes.
Yeah. So I didn't want to say that. I was trying to get you to get to catching up. But First Blood came out in 1982. E.T. came out. What else? Tootsie. Tootsie's a good movie. I like Tootsie quite a bit. I'm trying to think. Off the top of my head, it's hard to remember some of these, but I had First Blood locked and loaded because I love that movie, and I'm so happy that my kids do too, both of them. But come on, there's one more that I thought you would definitely like. Oh, it's my favorite of the year.
Oh, I'm still kind of browsing through.
Porky's,
Oh, Porky's, yeah.
best little horror house in Texas. Come on, there's 48 hours.
Movie's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, but anyway,
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with First Blood, hands down.
yeah,
Just
okay.
great action film, just great story, just yeah.
That's
All they
actually
had
the
to,
one
all they
that
had
I
to do was
expected.
let him eat a sandwich, and because they didn't do that, he fucked up that whole town
Yeah, he did.
around
Yeah,
Christmas time.
that's the one I thought you would have at number one. Or is your favorite? There really is no comparison, in my opinion, to number one. Rocky Three's also came out, which I love the Rocky movies, but it's not the best one. But yeah, Star Trek. Raiders came out in 1981. So Star Trek 3, or Star Trek 2, I'm sorry, Wrath of Khan did come out in 1982.
And that's a
So
great,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I actually, I got to be honest. When it comes to the old Star Trek movies, I'm I don't like Wrath of Khan all that much. I actually prefer Search for Spock. It's a
Uh,
little bit more exciting.
I mean, honestly, I like both of those. I think the only one the only one that I struggled with, I think, is the first one. I think the
Yeah,
first
the
one,
first one's boring.
yeah, it's just super slow.
hmm Yeah,
But I have all
like
the Star Trek movies on Blu-ray.
that. I do too. That scene. No, they're wrong. It's 1981. That scene when they're getting to the Enterprise in that shuttle. I swear that's 90 minutes of the movie.
Yeah,
I don't remember almost anything else from that movie than that. Well, their costumes are ridiculous in that one.
yeah.
My head is on fire. So with that, we'll get to number one, and I can't believe it's John Carpenter's The Thing. How could it be this movie of all things? How is it not Friday the 13th or some other slasher?
Well, probably because John Carpenter's The Thing is one of the greatest horror films ever made.
It
Period.
could be the greatest horror film ever made in
Yeah,
so many ways.
yeah. What's funny too is like last week when I was working on my article for the Wolfman films ranked.
hmm
Um, I wanted to just put something on. I didn't go to my collection like I normally do. I was just browsing through Prime, and so I put on The Thing and so I'm like watching The Thing while also like trying to write, and then right after The Thing ends, the fog comes on,
Yeah,
and
perfect.
that's when I came up with the idea for that article that I just put out about the
The
fog. Yeah,
what is it called?
the Phantom Files.
Yeah, the Phantom Files. I do like that. Yeah, that's a great night right there. The Thing, and then all of a sudden the fog pops on. That's like one of those nights when we were kids and we had cable and like you'd be watching a movie. Yeah, I love this movie. Then something else would come on. You're like, oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny too because like I paused the fog. I think I had like 10 minutes left, and then the next day I go put it back on just to finish it up, and then right after that, Prince of Darkness played. So Prime was playing a Carpenter collection for me, and I'm like, all right, you got me.
Yeah. It's that's a good night, man. I those are three of the best in my opinion Carpenter movies. Raiders of the Lost Ark was released June of 1981. It's not 1982. It's right in the middle of 1981, so it's not like oh it was released in December, so maybe it's my top three are Friday the 13th, Star Trek, and Halloween 3. All sequels. Sequel Seth approves.
I do approve.
Yeah. So yeah, the thing makes it at the top of our list. Here is a recap. I think this is the right one of our 1982 top 10 horror movies. Pieces. Friday the 13th. Seth, check out Pieces if you can, and Cat People. I think you'll like both of them. I like The
Yeah.
Entity quite a bit. Have you seen Basket Case?
I have not seen Basket Case.
It's wild, man. I saw that just randomly on TV in the early '90s, and I saw that they were premiering, I think, Basket Case 2 and 3 on Showtime back to back. So
Yeah.
but they were premiering them at like 1 in the morning on a school night. So I set my VCR up to record them, and I recorded them because I had seen Basket Case, and I was like, I can't miss 2 and 3. So they're
Yeah.
ridiculous. They're just complete and utter ridiculousness. I mean, do you know anything about it?
I don't know anything about. I mean, I heard the title before, but I don't know anything about it.
So this guy named Dwayne has his brother Belial is a conjoined twin, but he's like grew out of him right here, and he's all crazy mutilated looking. And eventually, when they're kids, they get separated, and they try to throw Belial away. And Belial kills all the doctors, and he's on a revenge motif for the rest of the movie. And they go to New York, and Dwayne keeps Belial in a basket, like a wicker basket. He just carries him around in the wicker basket everywhere he goes, and that's why it's called Basket Case. So the puppeteer work is ridiculous. There's a scene where Belial destroys a hotel room, and it's fucking hilarious because it's like stop motion, and it's not done very well. But it's definitely worth watching. Fun movie, silly as hell, and when Belial screams, you're gonna love it. Like that. It's really good. Bottom four are titty movies again. Are they? What were the bottom four? Let's- yeah. Okay. Eh, yeah. Two people's boobs. Barbara Hershey. Yeah. Boobs there too. Boobs there. Diane Franklin shows hers. I don't remember if there are any. I don't think so. None there, unfortunately. No, and no. There are no females in number one. Um, I don't remember if I don't think there are. I'm trying to think. Like I got a boob detector in my brain. I don't think Creepshow has any bare breastises. But yeah, Barbara Hershey's the one thing she's getting sexually molested, but you can see how like the fingers grabbing it, but there's nothing there. It's really kind of a cool scene just because of that. And I don't think they're her real boobs, but you know, yes, they were. And that's why I feel lucky that I grew up in the 1980s. Yes. Anyway, that's our list for 1982. I'm gonna bugger on out of here because I'm not feeling great. Seth, do you have anything you want to say before I go? I don't. Are you gonna stay on? Or are you gonna get out of here too?
I'll probably stay on for like another 15 minutes, and
Okay.
then I'll bounce because I gotta rewatch the movie that I am doing for tomorrow's Werewolf Wednesday show. So
Yeah. Speaking of tomorrow, Seth is talking about the logo's right, always right there.
yeah,
Big Bad Wolf. What year did this come out?
2006.
Sounds like a winner. I have no idea. I've never seen it.
fun movie, I think, with a werewolf that talks, and he's very sadistic and taunts his victims. So
Yep, Lana Lang / Martha Kent.
yeah,
Well, let's have fun with that. I'm gonna go take a shower and lay down, and I'll probably diarrhea a little bit. But enjoy this. I will see you Sunday. Oh, Sunday. We're talking about two Roger Corman Poe movies: The House of Usher and another one. I can't remember offhand because I feel like shit. Do you remember what it's called? I told. I think I told
the
you.
Pit and the Pendulum.
Pit and the Pendulum. Yeah. So watch those. I think they're streaming on. I can't remember. Yeah, my head's on fire. So Seth, I'll talk to you later, man. Have a great night. Yeah, everybody out there, have a great night.
Feel better, man.
Thanks. You too.
Yeah, so I'll stay on for a little bit longer. Anyone have anything they want to talk about, bring up? Probably stay on for like another 15 minutes or so. If anyone's interested. Um, Seth, did you see the new Superman TV spot? I did. So when it came up, I was watching the game Sunday night, and I'm a big Buffalo Bills fan. I've been a Buffalo Bills fan for a very long time, going back to when they sucked for a long period of time. And at the time that the Superman TV spot appeared, I wasn't really happy with the game. So, like, I have this thing too, like when I'm watching football, especially when I'm watching my team, I can't sit down. So, like, I'm like kind of like standing in my living room. I'm like kind of standing a little ways away from my TV, pacing around. And of course, I was a little agitated with the game, and the Superman uh, TV spot came up, and I just was like, I don't know. I was just like, yeah, whatever, because of the game. But then I saw it after. Looks pretty cool. They used a lot of the footage that we've seen before. There's a couple new things. I guess people are making a big deal about uh, Superman's face for that final moment where he's flying. Um, yeah, I'm really excited for the movie. So, and I know that there's quite a bit of negativity. A lot of people didn't want James Gunn to do it and all that stuff. But man, I am super excited for the movie, so I cannot wait. It looks good, and I'm glad they didn't spoil it. Yeah, that's the funny thing. Is like, on one hand, I wanted to see like new footage, but on the other hand, I'm like, maybe it's better if they don't show me new footage. Um, yeah, I'm excited either way. More Roger Corman, Poe, Vincent Price, Barbara Steele. Yeah, I think we're going to be doing quite a few of those on the Discord show. So we're starting with Jesus Christ, the Pit and the Pendulum, and the other one that Ray mentioned that I escaped my brain. But yeah. Same way with Detroit. Oh, you're a Lions fan? Man, they've been really good the last couple of years. And it kind of sucks, like with the season that they've been having, that they were taken out early in the playoffs. But yeah, good team there, and best of luck. I was kind of hoping for like a Lions Bills Super Bowl, but not seeing Superman TV spot as someone who is not overly invested. I'm not bothered either way. Maybe it's just the Cavill fan in me. Yeah, I'm kind of over the whole Henry Cavill thing. I, the thing with Cavill is like I liked him as Superman. He looked the part, but there's been many different actors who have played Superman before, and there'll be many that play him after. So I'm not beholden to one like a lot of people on the internet are. I'm looking forward to seeing what Corn Sweat can do. That's just my personal opinion. Kevin said, let's give Corn Sweat a chance. Yeah. I don't think there's any actual beef between anyone involved with the Snyderverse or even James Gunn and the new stuff. It's just the fans. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, especially if they're gonna do like Superman that kind of like feels like the comic. Those new dudes be on Sundays now. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I think they'll probably pop in. Not really sure. I'm happy to give the new guy a chance. The DCU needs a reboot, but Cavill is still my Superman. Understandable, yeah. I'm partial to Christopher Reeve and George Reeves, and actually Tyler Hoechlin from the show Superman and Lois. Tyler Hoechlin is probably the most underrated actor to play Superman. He doesn't like look the part, so to speak, but like he nails the personality and just the character traits and the optimism and the I don't know. He does really good at portraying Clark and Superman. He can be serious when he needs to be, and then just like really goofy and excited, very nerdy when he needs to be. Like I don't know. Cavill, I don't know if he's even in my top 5 of Superman actors, but I liked him. Definitely liked him. Reeve, Wellen, and Daly are my top 3. Yes, I really liked Wellen as well, and I know that when it came to the ending of Smallville, there's a lot of fans that say, Wellen doesn't count because he technically never wore the suit, and it's such a shame. I really wish that he was like actually in the suit, and we got to see him in the suit as Superman for some time for the final episode, because I really liked Wellen's performance throughout Smallville, and especially towards the end when he kind of tried to alter the Clark Kent personality and stuff like that. I thought he did really good. I think he captured the character pretty well. Sean says, I'm a casual superhero fan, so I never get over invested. Even then, the grounded superhero movies are my thing. So why I love The Dark Knight, why to Ray, worst movie ever made. Yeah, I get that. I love The Dark Knight as well. So, Jolene says, love Smallville. Yeah, me too. I marathoned all 10 seasons last summer, and it was a lot of fun. Such a good show. I think it's tough to point to my favorite season. I think probably I really like seasons 5 and 6. I'm actually a defender of season 8, which is the Doomsday season. I know that they did their own thing with Doomsday there, and the thing with season 8 too is like in the middle, they do a couple episodes where they bring back Lana for some reason, and it just kind of like put everything to a halt that they were building up. But I think season 8 actually has some decent actual horror elements to it with what they did with Doomsday. Don't quite understand why Chloe was so invested in the Davis character, but I thought it did bring out some great stuff with I can't remember, is it Aaron Ashmore or his brother that played Jimmy? whatever Ashmore played Jimmy. He had this really great episode in season 8 where he was trying to to prove that there was something up with Davis, and yeah, it was really good. I like season 8 a lot. Season 9 is pretty good. Season 10 is sort of like a hit or miss. There's like some good stuff in there, and then there's some stuff that's not great. But yeah, overall, Smallville is a fantastic show. Um, the first like 4 seasons are good. They can be a little rough though, because like the teenage stuff, like it didn't bother me when the show first premiered, because I was in high school when the show first premiered. But watching it now, like in my 40s, I'm like the the teenage drama is is not my thing. I'm just pissed. Still no Brainiac. Those that always need to be Lex, rich dude that likes real estate. So interesting. Why I liked Eisenberg as Lex. At least it was different. Okay, so I definitely get that. I did not like Eisenberg as Lex at all. Um, he was different, but I just didn't care for it. I am kind of like I'm definitely tired of the whole Lex real estate thing. Like I think that was a mistake that they made with Superman Returns. With I thought Kevin Spacey did good at doing a Gene Hackman impression, but just making him the villain was so bland. Um, and I really, for the most part, I'll say I don't think we've had a live action Lex Luthor that's really kind of on par with the comic Lex Luthor. I would say the exceptions would be Michael Rosenbaum in Smallville, probably my favorite Lex. Hands down, my favorite Lex. I liked Lyle Talbot's Lex in the 1950 Superman theatrical serials, Adam Man versus Superman. Um, I really liked. He was the mad scientist version of Lex in the, and I actually liked Michael Cudlitz as Lex in the final season of Superman and Lois. He was like very intimidating and like dangerous, and I think they did good with that. But yeah, I'm sick of the real estate Lex, and I hope that's over and done with. Sean says, although after seeing Juror number 2 and Nosferatu, I've been won around by Nicholas Hoult, so I'm on board for him as Lex. Yeah, I need to see Juror number 2. That looked really good. I saw a trailer for it not too long ago. I was like, oh, that looks decent. Yeah, I think Nicholas Holt's a good actor, and so I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what he could bring to the Lex character. And it seems like they're going to go into the direction of the business owner slash, brilliant scientist. So, and not the Gene Hackman, Kevin Spacey real estate. Um, but yeah, I would say my least 2 favorite Lex Luthor portrayals are uh, Jesse Eisenberg and um, what's his name? Sherman Howard from Day of the Dead. He played Lex in the Superboy TV show from the 1980s, starting with season 2. Um, yeah, those are my least favorites. It's on Max. Juror number 2, great courtroom drama with a twist. Yeah, I saw that when I was browsing through. I'm gonna have to give that a shot. I'm like behind on a lot of movies. A lot of stuff I'm like trying to catch up on too for these shows, and yeah, just a lot. Not enough time. Charlie Hackman as Lex is my favorite. Can't beat a classic. Yeah, I mean he was good and really fun performance, and um, love his interactions with Otis and Miss Tessmacher. Um, his Lex was fine for the Christopher Reeve films. I just want to see a different side of Lex than that. Yeah, because I mean, you're not gonna outdo Gene Hackman as that type, you know. So yeah, that looks like to be the end of the comments. And anyone else have anything else to say? Anything you want to talk about at all? Just let me know. Um, tomorrow night. Um, Tomorrow night, I'm going to be talking about the 2006 movie Big Bad Wolf for the War of Wednesday show. That should be fun. I'm planning on rewatching that tonight after I close out of here. Um, that should be a fun one. I tried looking to see where it's available to watch. Looks like you can rent it from a couple places, but I didn't really see a lot of options for watching it. But yeah, just stop by tomorrow as I talk about Big Bad Wolf for a little bit, and then of course, as always, we'll get away from the topic at hand as comments will come in. But yeah. What is Lex like in the comics? I have no clue. So many. There's no real set in stone. So in the pre-crisis stuff, pre-crisis on Infinite Earths, I think he was more of a mad scientist. And then in the 80s, when they rebooted the DC universe after Crisis on Infinite Earths, and John Byrne revamped the title, Lex became a businessman. He was a lot more uh, ruthless, dangerous. He was more of a formidable opponent while also being brilliant. Um, yeah, so he's not like the real estate guy at all in the post crisis stuff. I'm a huge fan of the John Byrne era of Superman comics, so that's sort of like my go to. But yeah. I have never read a comic book, so I think I cannot get upset when it's not faithful. Yeah, that's a fair point. If you don't know, then you got nothing to be upset about. Yeah. We'll be watching tomorrow. Love Werewolves. Awesome. Have you seen Big Bad Wolf? Let me know. You don't have to we don't have to dive into it deep because I want to save it for the show tomorrow. But if you've seen it, just let me know. And then the following week, I'm not going to be doing a Werewolf Wednesday show because I will be about an hour away watching Hellraiser on the big screen. Super excited for that. Is anyone going to see Hellraiser on the big screen on February 5th or 6th? Please let me know. I think you should. It's going to be great. It's going to be a new 4K remaster. Hellraiser is like one of my favorite horror films of all time. So seeing it on the big screen is going to be huge. I'm super excited for that. Safely assume Wolfman is a one-time watch. Yeah, I mean, I'll probably get it when it comes to Blu-ray because I mean I didn't hate it. I just didn't overly love it. I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt and like probably a second viewing. It may grow on me a little bit. I doubt it's gonna. I seriously doubt that the new Wolfman is gonna like reach the love that I have for the 1941 film or the 2010 film. But I'm gonna give it I'll give it another watch. Not gonna see it again in theaters. I'll probably just wait until it comes out on physical media. And even then, I probably won't rush out to get it. I'll probably wait for the price to come down a little bit. I was a little disappointed in it, but it's not a terrible film, but didn't love it either. Oh, you haven't seen Big Bad Wolf? Oh man, I wish there was a way that you could watch it before tomorrow's show, because I'm very curious about what you think about that. Um, the new one. Are you talking about Wolfman? I'm assuming. I don't think it's playing anywhere here. Ah, that sucks. I mean, it's not playing here either. Like, I have a really small movie theater in my town. They don't play the. They don't do the, the re-releases. I have to travel like an hour away to go see them, but it's worth it. I mean, a couple years ago, I saw Die Hard on the big screen, which is my all-time favorite movie, and that was a blast. Like the theater was packed, and people were like just so into it. It was great. Uh, uh, Last year, the year before, I got to see Doctor No on the big screen, which was great. I've seen the 1932 Mummy and Bride of Frankenstein from 35 on the big screen. Um, yeah, there's something about seeing movies on the big screen that I absolutely love, and I can't pass up an opportunity to see Hellraiser. I missed out last summer on the 1999 Mummy with Brendan Fraser. I absolutely love that film, but I couldn't make it for some reason. But I saw They Live on the big screen. I saw The Thing when they did those re-releases. Fantastic stuff. That Werewolf movie is free on YouTube. Big Bad Wolf. If it is, definitely Sean and Kathy watch it before the show tomorrow. Wolfman 2010, that has like a 20 on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, I don't really care. I think it's an underrated movie. It was one of those movies where a lot of people hated it when it first came out. A lot of people running their mouths about it, but and I understand theatrical cut was a little choppy, whatever. But if you watch the unrated director's cut, it's just so much better of a film. And I think even the theatrical film is nowhere near as bad as people make it out to be. I think there was a lot of negative press about that film before it came out. I remember seeing, I think, a couple websites, doing articles about it before it came out, talking about, oh, well, it's being released in the in the dumping ground of Hollywood releases, in the January, February area. Wolfman 2010 is super underrated, super underrated, and that's my personal opinion. If you haven't seen it, or if your only experience with the Wolfman 2010 is the theatrical cut, which again isn't awful, but it's a little choppy. I would recommend the unrated director's cut. It's got way more gore and violence, and the story makes a lot more sense. Yeah. We'll look for the trailer. Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. I think it's a Christmas movie. But to me, like, I never really cared for that argument anyway, because Die Hard is the greatest movie ever made, and that's a fact. So, yeah. My next TV will be a 65-inch. Yeah, that's awesome. I got a 70-inch. I got it a couple years ago. It was like on sale, and it was like really cheap. And I love having it. But now, like, I'm just so used to it, and I'm like, well, when this TV dies, I want to get a bigger one. God, that is the most pointless debate whether Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Who cares? I will say I watched Die Hard every 2 years, never on Christmas. So yeah, I mean it is a dumb debate. Like people get really upset about it. I've seen like when I had social media, like people would take like a, an edited clip from the roast of Bruce Willis, and they would play only a certain part of it of where Bruce Willis was making a joke about it not being a Christmas movie, that it's a fucking Bruce Willis movie. And like they would play that clip and like it would just be shared without context of, oh, Bruce Willis says it's not a Christmas movie. I don't care if it's a Christmas movie or not. Uh, it's the greatest movie ever made. And that's all that everyone needs to know about Die Hard, is that Die Hard is the greatest movie ever made, and there's no debate. Um, you could lie to yourself and say, something like um, Citizen Kane, but Citizen Kane's not Die Hard. You know, uh, there's so many other examples of where people are wrong because Die Hard is the greatest movie ever made, and it's a fact. You can look it up. I think it's been proven by science. Horror Gang says, "Hey, what's up? Just got a chance to join. Hey, how's it going? How you doing, my friend?" Ray and I talked about 1982 horror films for a while. Ray wasn't feeling very well, so he bounced a little early. I just stuck around to just hang out for a little bit longer before I check out. Well, not check out. It's not like it's my first time, but I'm gonna rewatch Big Bad Wolf from 2006 to get prepared for tomorrow's Werewolf Wednesday show. It's a fun one. So, how you doing? Favorite Bruce Willis movies. So, obviously, Die Hard. One, Die Hard, Die Hard 2, Die Harder, Die Hard with a Vengeance are my favorites. I kind of like Live Free or Die Hard as well, even though it gets a little cartoonish. Last Boy Scout, absolutely one of my favorite Bruce Willis movies of all time. Striking Distance, I grew up with that one, love it. 12 Monkeys, Looper. Goddamn, I know I'm missing a shitload. Unbreakable. I know I'm missing a shitload. Last Man Standing, for sure. I love Bruce Willis movies. And actually, around the time that I was sick, around Christmas time, there was one night where I couldn't sleep at all. I went upstairs, tossed and turned until like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, fuck it, I'll get up. So came downstairs, went on, put on the TV, and then I was browsing through, and I came across this trilogy of movies that Bruce did towards the end, right before they announced what was going on with him. And what the hell were they called? Like Detective Night. There's a trilogy of films called Detective Night, and they're not great films at all. And I watched them all. I marathoned all 3 of them from the early morning hours, and they're not great. And it was kind of sad seeing Bruce Willis in that state, because it's like, here's a guy who, wow, I'm sounding like Chris Collinsworth there. Now there's a guy, but Bruce Willis went from, he's like one of those actors who always had like charisma and personality, and then he's just sort of, end of his career is just like you could tell he's struggling. But yeah, Bruce Willis is my favorite actor. Lots of stuff. I'm trying to rack my brain. There's so many that I'm missing that I didn't mention. But like I used to just go to the movie. I would see if Bruce Willis is in a movie, I would go see it in the theater. That's the way I used to be. Horror Gang. I'm assuming it's Jackson. Says it's doing good. Can't wait to watch Wednesday. Did you get a chance to check out my top 10 1930 horror films vid. I did not. I actually haven't even gone over. I've been meaning to go over and subscribe to your channel as well. So I gotta make sure to do that. I gotta do that. I gotta check out that American Werewolf in London fan film that Scott Walker keeps telling me I should watch. Yeah, so I'm hoping tomorrow I will get over to your YouTube channel, check it out, and check out actually a couple of your other stuff because I know that you said that you did. There was a lot of stuff that you mentioned that you did that I've been interested in checking out. So I will definitely get to it, my friend. Die Hard, Pulp Fiction. Yes, Pulp Fiction's great too. Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead. Um, I feel like there's so many more that I'm forgetting that he did. Sin City. Um, damn it. But yeah, those are great. Yeah, man, I appreciate it. Yeah, no problem. Actually, you know what? If I had a pen on me, which of course I don't, I was gonna write it down as a reminder, but I don't think I got my pen on me. It's probably in my jacket pocket somewhere. But I definitely want to check out some of your stuff that you talked about. You said you did a lot of the Universal stuff, right? Um, Definitely got to check those out. And, just to support you and check out some of your other content as well. Um, and feel free to drop a link to your channel if you want in the comments here. I did want to actually bring something up real quick. Let me just, I just had to open a new tab, so just bear with me. So for those who may not know, we have a website, thehorrorsyndicate.com. We do written reviews, rankings, bunch of different stuff. So the other day I completed, it was Sunday actually, I completed this and it got published. But if you check out our website, I did a piece on John Carpenter's The Fog. And so basically I created a new segment for the website called the Fandom Files, which is going to be where any writer for the horrorsyndicate.com can use the Fandom Files as a basis for an article, talk about something that they love, whether it be a film, filmmaker, book, author, whatever. So I did my first piece on John Carpenter's The Fog, and the idea of it is how, because I've been saying for years, The Fog made me the fan of John Carpenter that I am today. I saw some of his stuff beforehand, but then at the time when I was really starting to pay attention to uh, screenwriting and filmmaking, I really got into it. So I'm putting the link in the description here or in the comments. Follow that link. Check out this article. It took me a while to write it. It's not getting a lot of views on the website. So just wanted to share that. And yeah, we got tons of other stuff on the website too. We're trying to get it going again. We were doing really good with the website for a while, and then things happened and it just kind of went downhill for a bit, but we're trying to kind of jumpstart it. So there's articles from myself and Ray, other staff members of the Horror Syndicate, Ron, um, Morgan, Rachel, Nathan did a couple articles that are worth checking out. So yeah, go visit thehorrorsyndicate.com. Check out all of our articles. I'm going to be getting started on a new one soon. I got a list of topics written down. I'm not sure which one I'm going to do quite yet, but check it out. There's always going to be something. This guy Ron that writes for the Horror Syndicate, he has a shitload of articles saved as draft, and so I scheduled them. So over the next few days, a lot of his articles are going to be released. Check them out. Share the links if you can, so other people can check them out. That'd be fantastic. Can you do a live on Bruce Willis movies? I would like to do that. I could do that. I appreciate it, my guy. Nice Superman hoodie. Can't wait for the new movie. Yeah, I know. Same here. I love this hoodie. It's one of my favorites. I wear it often. Super excited for the movie. And then here's I shared in the comments here, so I posted it to both Facebook and YouTube. It's called The Phantom Files, John Carpenter's The Fog, ignited my love for the legendary director's filmography. And I go into a lot of details about, a lot of details, I guess, but I kind of go into how exactly, like, I go into my thoughts about John Carpenter as a filmmaker, what I love about him and his work, and then just how I came across The Fog, and then how it kind of went from there. So, yeah, check that out. Thank you. No, thank you. Much appreciated. Yeah, again, Bruce Willis is my favorite actor, so, and again, I used to just, anytime he was in a movie, I would just go see it. There were some not so great ones, but there was more great than good, or than bad. So anyway, it doesn't look like anyone's watching anymore, and I am probably going to bounce in a minute to go watch Big Bad Wolf. So I'm just gonna pull up the poster and stuff. So tomorrow, for Werewolf Wednesday, I will be talking about Big Bad Wolf from 2006. I think it's a fun movie, and I'm looking forward to talking about it. Come hang out. I'll just go over the movie, go over my thoughts of the movie, and then, as usual, it'll probably just turn into casual bullshit and about a lot of things werewolf related, or even non-werewolf related. It doesn't really matter. We go off topic often. It doesn't bother us any. So, yeah. Big Bad Wolf from 2006, which is tomorrow's topic. Should be fun. Feel free to join. One last comment here. When again is your Roger Corman? So Sunday. So for our Sunday show discourse, we're going to be starting by doing the some of the Roger Corman Poe related films. The discourse show is the one that typically is supposed to be Ray, myself, Nate, and Jared for the last 2 weeks. I couldn't make it, and they've had on Jackson and Hunter from Horror Gang. And yeah, it seems like they've had fun. So I will be on this Sunday since my football team lost. There's no more football for me. Yeah. So join us Sunday for what is it? It's The Pit and the Pendulum, and God damn it, I forgot the name of the other movie. But I think we're going to dive more into those. Those are going to be our Sunday shows. So Sunday nights is when we do Discourse. Tuesday night is when Ray and I do Horror Movie Massacre, and then Wednesday night is when I do the Werewolf Wednesday show. Alrighty. So thank you everyone who watched and tuned in. Hope everyone has a good night. And hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow for Werewolf Wednesday. Have a good night. Evil dies tonight.